What's up, guys? This is Crypto James talking to you today about IOTA. IOTA continue to do well. They are building strong partnerships. They've got partnerships with the EU. And they're also bringing in a new method for incentivizing sort of energy saving, effectively. IOTA, OG of the crypto space. I still think they can do a run in terms of price appreciation, but they have got to nail down, something big with the EU or start really growing their ecosystem. I'll talk about what they can do in this video because they are an OG in this space. But before I get into it, if you're new to this channel, these are the first 26 coins I spoke about on this channel. They're also the first 26 coins I owned when I made the channel. Had you put in $100 into each of these coins when I released videos about them, and you were still holding them, you never sold them, you did everything wrong as an investor. Because remember, at some point you have to cash in your gains. If you sold all those coins today, you'd be in profit for around 16 grand. That's when you've done everything wrong. But if you'd have sold these coins in 2021 like I did when the markets were red hot, $100 into each, a $2,600 investment could have netted you a profit of 123 grand. So massive difference between doing the right and wrong thing. Now, as I said, I sold all these off in 2021, but if you want to see the current holdings that I have, my current portfolio, you can do. You just have to go to copymycrypto.com. It's where I share every coin I own. I give the members real-time updates anytime I buy or sell any coin. We release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets where we have been pinpoint accurate for months and months and months now. We have tutorials set up as well for beginners. We've got thousands of members. A lot of them have never invested in crypto. So these tutorials are step-by-step and can guide you all the way through your crypto journey. And then on top of that, we have a history of success on both the site and the channel. We have called massive winners on both. Phantom is the biggest winner. Phantom is I created a course in 2020 called The Best Crypto Investment of 2020, and it was all about Phantom and how it would 100x or more. Even now, Phantom is still up over 100 times from when I released that course. But if you put in 2 grand when I released the course, and sold at the top in 2021, you could have netted a profit of 1.3 million just from Phantom. I will find another Phantom, and when I do, I'm going to go onto my site, not create a course like last time, just go onto my site and do what I do with all coins, which is name the coin, name the gains I think it can have, and what percentage of my money I'm putting in. If it interests you to copy along and just take the crypto, like the research out of it for yourself, if you don't have the time or the energy, go read the site, and remember, everything you read you can verify on the YouTube channel's history. So, IOTA currently priced at 24 cents. Market cap of 677 million. Sorry, not billion, million. And you know what? It did a very strong run in 2017. It's actually on a downtrend when you look at the long-term charts. So that does have to be considered when we're looking at IOTA. So IOTA is a DLT with one big difference. It's not actually a blockchain. It's a proprietary tech known as Tangle, which is a ton of different nodes that confirm transactions. The foundation behind the platform says that it offers far greater speeds than conventional blockchains and is an ideal footprint for the ever-expanding Internet of Things ecosystem. Basically, they want to become the de facto platform for executing transactions on IoT devices. And given the net growth of IoT devices over the past decade and the projected net growth of IoT devices over the next decade, if IOTA does achieve that, they are going to be one of the, if not the single strongest blockchain around, even though they're not a blockchain, as I said. I mean, the strength of this project is very, very high. As I said, because of their system, or because of the system that they have in place, which is a DAG network, if this gets up and running and they can become the de facto solution or the de facto way of monitoring everything that occurs on an IoT device. Jesus Christ, can they do a run in price? IOTA, over the past few years, has started growing quite nicely. And one thing I will say, I'm not enamored with the current ecosystem that IOTA have. I do think there is growth required. For IOTA, fundamentally, I do think they're a little lacking in particular areas. So the IOTA ecosystem is about supporting developers, entrepreneurs, academics, and token holders. And we can discover the ecosystem now, but when we realize that, there you go. So I think they're hugely lacking in DeFi. They're hugely lacking in particular in NFTs. They're lacking in gaming. They're lacking in an ecosystem growth that I was hoping we would have seen for IOTA by now, given that they are legitimately one of the OGs of the space. However, if that is ignored for a second and you look at what has been occurring via IOTA, they have partnered with EU. They've been selected for the next phase of the EU blockchain pre-commercial procurement to develop and test a DLT solution for delivering improved European-wide blockchain services. Now, they're the only project that have been selected for this. The EU are going to go heavy into crypto. There's no doubt about it. It's just a case, and they're going to go heavy into monitoring transactions. We know this. Jesus Christ. The legislation that the EU have pushed forward in terms of monitoring everything is ridiculous. It's actually one I'm not a fan of. I think it will crush innovation. However, the partner that they have in place to monitor and develop the infrastructure within blockchain services is going to have huge success. So if IOTA can show their value here, the strength that they can move forward is going to be massive. IOTA's progress in the DLT for the European blockchain services has been recognized as multiple times as the company has been selected to move to the next phase of testing, and no one else has. The goal of the sort of EBSI is to promote cross-border mobility, reduce waste, ensuring compliance with EU regulations, fostering the growth of technology hubs and projects, and making digital services more reliable and trustworthy. This is a big focus. And if IOTA can be the linchpin of that, of course it's going to do well. You combine that as well with recent news about incentivizing energy savings with IOTA. Again, that is something that is crushing the world right now. We keep seeing huge energy companies posting their record gains, like record profits, not gains. I'm speaking crypto instead of speaking traditional finance. So BP recorded record profit recently. We've seen Shell record profit recently. In the meantime, everyone that's living is struggling under the weight of energy costs. So working with Energy NIP could be a real positive thing. This could allow a lot of people to begin sort of saving by trusting allowing these companies to share their data and utilize Energy NIP's app to effectively recoup some of the spend, some of the much utilized spend that everyone is having right now on energy. This bodes really well for IOTA. The architecture of IOTA makes fraud impossible, meaning the data and the accuracy of the energy data submitted could be massive. By saving energy, you get a reward. It's an all-in-one app. This is a recent partnership, but it's one that is kind of exciting because fundamentally right now everyone is getting wrecked by energy. Energy costs have skyrocketed. The day-to-day living has skyrocketed. Most of the people I know are struggling and pissed off under the weight of the bills that they're experiencing, whether that's just their weekly shop, whether that's the random boom in, taxation that we're sort of having, whether that's like council tax or whatever. That's what we have in the UK. Or, like I said, the energy costs. It's ridiculous. Most people are doubling up with blankets instead of heating. So IOTA partnering with this, that could be positive. It's a small thing comparatively to the EU, but it's looking stronger. IOTA is one where it's a tricky one, because long term, I genuinely have looked at IOTA and gone, this should end up being $5 or $10, but realistically, we have to take the logic of we're in a downtrend for IOTA. So I would only say $2 as a price point target for IOTA, and I actually think $2 might be too high because of the downtrend that it's on. The difference is for IOTA, and the difference is for me long term with IOTA, is if it ends up being the infrastructure for IoT devices, and it has big moves in that regard, and it grows a DeFi ecosystem, and it does provide the infrastructure for the EU. Of course, long term, this is going to be an absolute titan. And $10, $20 could be very achievable. But currently, you can't predict that. We've not seen growth in the ecosystem in a way that is significant enough to warrant it. Governments historically move insanely slow getting anything done. So I'd be suggesting IOTA is probably going to be on a continued downtrend. So $2 is sort of an optimistic thing based on a continued downtrend. However, one of those things starts kicking into gear and moving fast, and all bets are out the window, because this could do a lot. But I'd be really hesitant to suggest any huge gains on IOTA until we see one of these things happen, whether it's IoT devices, whether IOTA become the de facto IoT device network, whether it's, again, they grow their ecosystem, they really push and grow, or the EU really push and grow and decide that the infrastructure in place that they want is IOTA. Until one of those three things happen, I wouldn't be suggesting that we're going to see huge price appreciation. So I'd be conservative and go $2 at max, to be honest, until any of those things kick in, is my honest perspective, in spite of the fact that they're doing good things. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think it can do more? Do you think it can do less? Like I said, long term, I think it can do more, but it isn't. I wouldn't be suggesting it until any of those things happen. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. And if you're a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. It's good for your karma. It's a nice thing to do. Give you karma points. And number 3, these videos make you money. Don't miss them. Okay? And, guys, last thing. If you want to see the coins I own right now, go to copymycrypto.com. It's where I share every coin I own. Every one I buy, every one I sell. Members are notified in real time anytime I add or remove anything from my portfolio. The tutorials that we have in place are exactly what I send friends and family. They're what can help you begin your crypto journey. We release videos on a daily basis where we have been pinpoint accurate with the moves of the market for the last few months. It's been perfect. And we have a huge history of success on both the site and the channel. We have picked massive winners on both, but none more so than Phantom, obviously. Phantom went up 677 times when I created the course about it. It's still up over 100 times from when I created the course about it. And I will find another Phantom. And no one was talking about Phantom. I do want to point that out. No one in 2020 was talking about Phantom as the big gainer. Go through your favorite YouTubers, type in Phantom into their videos, look around. No one in 2020 was saying big gainer, let alone 100x. I will find another Phantom, and when I do, I'm not going to create a course like last time. I'm simply going to go onto my site and do what I do with all coins, which is, this is the coin I own. These are the gains I think it can have. This is the percentage of my money I'm putting in. And if members want to copy, they can. If that interests you, if you're looking to take the work out of your investing or your crypto research, go read the site now. And remember that everything you read, you can verify yourself on the YouTube channel's history. And maybe I'll see you there. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.